Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of the Factor Uncensored. An emergency lawsuit with time running out for decision has been filed. A woman says she needs an abortion after learning the fetus would not survive if she goes through with the pregnancy. Kate Cox filed a lawsuit in Texas today. She lives in Dallas. She's the first woman to ask a court for an abortion since Roe v. Wade was overturned. According to the lawsuit, she is 20 weeks into her pregnancy, and she also faces medical issues if she does not get that abortion. That includes diabetes, complications from a C-section, and gestational hypertension. Joining us to talk about it, political analyst Angela Botts and State Representative Jolanda Jones. Angela, why shouldn't this woman be able to go through with this abortion from your perspective?
Yeah, it's I don't think we probably differ too much on this issue. I think, like most Republicans, I believe exceptions for life of the mother, life of the baby, rape and incest. Most Republicans agree with those exceptions. This case is tragic and very sad. This woman, the baby, has trisomy 18 is what it's called, and it's a condition that the baby, 95% of children, if they are born alive, will die before the age of 1 year old. It is a tragic, horrible situation, and I don't blame this woman for wanting to do this, for not want to put her family through this grief and this heartache. But I think what we need to remember also is that each state has the ability to make their own abortion laws, and since the Dobbs decision, which is the reversal of Roe v. Wade, we've saved about 24,000 babies, and those babies are going to grow up to have lives, and who knows what those children are going to accomplish. And I will also say that many children are born that are said born with birth defects, or born, they say, oh, you're not going to have a life or a quality of life, and they end up having productive, wonderful lives. And so it's a very heartbreaking decision, and I don't envy anybody in this situation.
Jolanda, let's hear from you on this issue.
So first of all, why do I have to go to court to get an abortion for my body? Is the first problem. So Dobbs set women back forever. And when we start talking about pro-life, saving lives, well, since Angela brought it up, Republicans love your life till you're born, and then they don't care anything.
Absurd.
I did not interrupt you, Angela.
Absolutely absurd.
I did not interrupt you, Angela. So be respectful. Thank you. In any case, why are we doing now in 2023 what we won the right to do in the early 70s? That's just wrong. Now you have doctors who are afraid of losing their medical licenses. You have husbands who are afraid of helping their wives make decisions about their family and family planning. This woman wants to have other children. This baby was wanted until she found out that the baby is going to die. And so now, because of this archaic anti-woman law on the books in Texas, which I wasn't here when it passed, because I would have voted against it had I been a representative then they have to worry about being charged with murder if a doctor performs abortions, which is why she went to, I think, 2 or 3 emergency rooms, and doctors were like, they all had the same diagnosis, but they were like, we can't do it. We don't want to, get charged with a crime. Husbands have to worry about whether they're going to be charged with a crime while trying to make family decisions with their wives about moving forward. And if she's forced to keep the baby until, I guess, she delivers naturally, so she's forced to keep a dead baby in her womb, that's terrible. Or to deliver a dead baby, that is terrible. We know what is going on. As Angela said, this baby has a 95% chance of dying before it's a year. Many times they die in the womb. They should not do that. And it is craziness. It is unfathomable, although we know that we do it because we're in Texas. But it's just terrible, and I hope that the court grants it. And here's a problem. When you get abortions, when you get it matters. She's at 20 weeks now. How long is the court going to take? Are they going to stall? Or is somebody going to appeal? The whole time she's carrying a baby that she knows is dying inside of her.
I think the court will probably act quickly in this. Texas does have the exception for life of the mother and the health of the baby if the baby's going to die. I'm reminded of a friend who had to go, a very similar situation. She went to an abortion clinic, five months pregnant like this woman is, and the heartbreak that she had to to go through to have this abortion because this baby was not going to live and has his brain on the outside of his head and it's horrible. And the callousness that so many of these women who go into these abortion clinics, that they literally, the receptionist knew these women's names, like, okay, Sheila, you know the drill. And meanwhile, my friend is sitting there having to go through this trauma of this wanted child that she wanted, having to have this abortion. And I think what we need to put our minds around is that life is important and every life does matter. And I take exception to what Representative Jones just said about Republicans. It's not true that Republicans want to disregard human life. We believe that every human life is special.
Last 30 seconds, Representative.
And so on that note, I will say this. Just because you're born does not mean you're going to have a good life. You force someone who does not want children, even if they just don't want them, or a child that has disabilities, you know how hard it is getting your child taken care of in school. The government should not be in the business of legislating a woman's body. And I pray for this woman. I pray for her family. I pray that she's able to make the best decision for her family. She wants to have children in the future. This could actually affect her ability to have children in the future. So the government needs to stay out of our wombs. They need to stay out of our vajayjays, and they need to let us make decisions to determine the future of our own families.
Out of time, ladies.
Hitler
Thank you
also
both
wanted
for
to
joining
kill
us.
people with disabilities.